Why do we do it? Why are we always trying to self-sabotage? I mean, you know what I mean, right? Let's think about it. After we find out about his affair, what are we doing all the time? We are obsessing. We're thinking constantly about the affair. We're asking 5 million questions. We can be actually having a decent time with our husband, our kids, and then suddenly that intrusive thought comes in, and next thing we know, we are yelling at him, we are making some snarky comment, we are sabotaging the entire thing, all because we are hurting. It's hard not to self-sabotage when we're so emotionally compromised, if you will. So stay tuned. Let's talk a little bit about this idea of self-sabotaging and maybe some ways in which we can try to not do that. So stay tuned. All right, so self-sabotage. We do this a lot in our lives, whether we maybe realize we're doing it or not. It's kind of that inner voice that has the wrong narrative playing and wants to make sure that we're functioning in that wrong narrative instead of the correct narrative. Okay, so what that looks like is this. Let's pretend you're dieting, and let's say that you've done really good. You got up in the morning, you worked out, you have gotten 15,000 steps, you have eaten really well, you've done really great, and it's 8 o'clock at night, and you think to yourself, gosh, I would really, really love a bowl of ice cream. Well, you know, that determined part of you who decided to go on the diet says, now wait a minute. You know, you don't want to do that. You've worked so hard today. Why blow it with a bowl of ice cream? You don't want to do this. Well, that's when that inner dialogue, that self-sabotage comes into play. It's that mindset that's trying to tell you a false narrative. And what that voice says is, oh, come on. I mean, you've done so good. I mean, it's not a big deal. I mean, you worked out. You burned more calories than you ate today. You can have a bowl of ice cream. It's okay. So in that split second, you feel good, and you have that bowl of ice cream. And as you're eating it, you feel great. But what happens after you eat the bowl of ice cream? The shame sets in. And you realize you just gave in to self-sabotage. This is actually this horrible cycle that I think we can get into, especially in affair recovery, because, oh my gosh, do we not have 800 false narratives flowing through our head at any given time? How about the narrative that says it's your fault he had an affair? Or the one that tries to convince you that you'll never be enough for him? Or the one that tells you that she's prettier than you? Or the one that says that he's just going to do it again? I mean, we have all of these dialogues, and they're chittering away in our mind all the time, right? So no wonder we self-sabotage. I fell victim to this quite a bit, actually. I was my own worst enemy, I would say. Sometimes things would be going really well. Because, you know, for me, it's been 11 and a half years since the first D-Day. So, you know, you would think, you know, 5 years after the D-Day, I'd be great. Well, I still had moments. Things would be going great, and then suddenly I would make some smart alecky or snarky comment about him having an affair, and the rest of the night was ruined. Or I would start asking questions again after years, okay? And here we go again. Or I would start freaking out thinking, oh my gosh, maybe he's in contact with her again. And then I would start back into the obsessive checking on thing. I mean, there were 100 different things I did, and I remember vividly how that felt. I remember the back and forth in my mind of trying to go, no, I don't want to become obsessive again. That's not healthy. I want to move forward. But then that voice kept trying to say, yeah, but maybe something's happened and maybe you need to know about it. You're missing out or something like that. So the big question is, how do we stop self-sabotaging? This is a really big question that I really can't give you all the little small details in this video. I do this with my clients, so my clients get the full treatment. We work on this for a long time, but on a 30,000 foot view, let me give it to you the way I would tell anyone trying to go through this how to stop self-sabotaging. And here's what it is. First and foremost, you've got to tell yourself stop. Now, I get it. You're going, well, that's no help. That's duh. Okay, but seriously, there is something about stopping that train of thought in its tracks, which means you have to say stop. No, I don't want to think about this. I'm not going to go down that path. First and foremost, you got to stop it. The second thing is you have to lean into and start asking the questions, what is true? What do I know to be true? So let's say that you have this moment and your husband has been doing all the things. He's been going to counseling. He has really turned a leaf. He's answered all of your questions. He has become like 1,000% transparent, and everything has been going really great. And you were actually starting to feel safe with him. You're starting to feel good. And then the self-sabotage rolls in, right? Well, when all of this is taking place, you have to start asking the critical question, well, okay, what do I know to be true? And start naming it off. I know he's trying. I know he's working really hard. I know he regrets what he did. I know that he is being truthful with me because he's being completely transparent. I know that he wants us to be happy. He has expressed it. He has shown me. He's done the thing. So, you see what I'm saying? That's what's true. What that other dialogue is trying to tell you is not true. And that's what leads us to do the self-sabotaging. So say no, and then ask yourself, what is true? It is really important that we get a handle on our thoughts, okay? I did some videos about managing emotions, and some of that had to do with managing thoughts too. But we have to really get a handle on what's happening up here, because what's going on in our minds is dictating what we're doing. It's dictating our actions. It's dictating what comes out of our mouth. And if we want to communicate effectively, if we want to have those happy moments at home, if we want to stop just sabotaging really good, healthy moments in our relationship with our husband, we've got to figure out how to do this. And I get it. It is hard, especially when our emotions are at an all-time high. We are completely drowning in powerful emotions. I get it. But if we can just get a handle and do those two things, say stop, and then make sure we understand very clearly what is true. What is true about our current situation? And then go from there. I remember going through this. So I promise I'm not trying to make light of it. I'm not trying to make it something that it's not. I get it. I get it that it's hard. I know it's challenging. This is why I work with women like us, because we can walk that journey together, you and I. I could be your coach. We could talk about how you're self-sabotaging and come up with real strategies to help you not do that anymore. I want to be that coach for you because I've been there. I have a real calling to do this. So below this video is a very easy way for you to schedule a free strategy session with me. And it's about 1 hour. And I spend most of that time honestly helping you with what you're going through. And then I talk to you about coaching, and we see if this is something that may be helpful for you, and we go from there. Totally free, not high pressure, I promise. I'm here to help you. I also have some other opportunities below this video. So I've got a Facebook group that's amazing, a wonderful tribe of wives just like us. I hope you'll join. Also underneath this video, You're going to find a video that I created as well as a free guide, both of which are free and are chock full of information that may be helpful for you during your affair recovery journey. So I do hope that you'll take the time to click that link below, schedule something with me, and let you and I connect and see if we are a good fit. I look forward to it. And hey, remember, stop thinking it and then ask yourself, is this true? See if that helps.